But before I log off for this Thanksgiving special, my parents, before they left, they were looking at the television and they were watching Univision. And, I went by and I was listening to what the announcer was saying. Well, it wasn't really an announcer. First I was like, Thanksgiving, a time to be thankful. Something very generic. And being a Spanish channel, and there's mostly Mexicans on this. I mean, talking about being cliche. I mean, they had this stupid girl, probably 24 years old. She barely graduated from Arizona State University with a bachelor's in, I don't know, in communications. I don't know what the fuck she has. But clearly she looks like somebody that doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And so they ask her, oh, okay, what's Thanksgiving? Like, if you've been living on this planet for a long time and being in this country, Phoenix has one of I think, the oldest immigrants as far as the ones who have stayed here the longest in the country are here in Arizona. If I'm correct, I know somebody's going to correct me, but I mean, you're here long enough to understand the basics. But here we go. So this stupid girl. I mean, I don't want to call her stupid, but she sounded really pathetic. And then she, and what I hate is Spanglish. When they talk about, because, I'm probably going to do a Spanish show later on. I'm not really sure. But if I do a Spanish show, I'm not going to be doing that crap with, okay. And el día de Thanksgiving. Like, no, that's not really how you say it, you bimbo. Yeah, they keep all these English words while they're speaking Spanish. You're talking to a Mexican audience. Some of them don't even know any English. And you're speaking to them like if they know some English. Like, stop it. I mean, and it's a fucking disgrace to the language, to both languages. Pick one language and go with it. If you're on Univision, you have to speak at least perfect, I wouldn't say perfect, but, somewhat decent Spanish. And she says, and then instead of saying, peregrinos, which is the translation for pilgrims, she said pilgrims. Oh, y luego los pilgrims. This is like South Park, man. This is totally bullshit. So then they were talking about that, and then they cut over. This is the news network, right? They cut over to this Catholic guy who owned the McDonald's that's down my street. The most hideous McDonald's I've ever been to. Pathetic food. I know now that the reason why I gave up McDonald's was because of this one restaurant. The food is so greasy. I mean, the meat, when you bite into your fucking burger, this grease just rushes out of your burger. And then they charge you for refills. What the hell is that about? Oh, but yeah. It had to be this white guy who speaks perfect, this white Catholic who speaks perfect Spanish, by the way. More perfect than the other girl that was Mexican. And you had a white guy speaking perfect Spanish. How he was contributing, voy a contribuir más a la comunidad, contributing to the community. Basically giving out free dinner. Like, he didn't give out free Big Macs or free Happy Meals, right, to the kids. He gave out like this shitty ass canned food. I saw what they were, because they had the cameras there, they were panning around. I saw what he was giving away. Fucking expired canned food and shit. And then he calls himself, then he says, I'm a Catholic, I support the Hispanic community. Fuck you. And then he had a Pollock last name. And of course, I've been to that restaurant once because I had to take my sister there for lunch. She went to McDonald's. I don't know what the fuck's the matter with her. And you go in there and it's like a fucking church. You had all these pictures of the Virgin Mary. Okay, this cut because it's not really Catholic. the Virgin Guadalupe, which is totally a different thing. I'm not gonna get into that. But then he has the pictures of the fucking Pope, both a Ratzinger and what's the other one? Pope John Paul, the two pedophile enablers of the Catholic Church. Oh yeah, he had those pictures up, and he had one picture of Jesus Christ. And here's the thing: I don't really care what your religion is, but you are running a McDonald's, dude. This is McDonald's. It's not a fucking church. What would happen if I were to open up a McDonald's and I put pictures of two dudes kissing? What would you do? Oh, you'll probably gather a protest. You have a boycott against me. If I have like the rainbow flag or something like, you know, gay stuff hanging up the walls, you are gonna go crazy. And first of all, I'm not that stupid to put up a picture of two guys kissing. And then here's the reason why. I'm gay. I'm pro-gay. I will always be that. But here's the thing. I have a business, and business comes first. If you're gonna open up a McDonald's, what's your main prerogative there? Sell burgers. Like here on this show. What's my main prerogative? Is to somehow, I don't know, and that's actually a good question. What is my prerogative? What is my motivation? What is my, what's my point doing this show? What am I selling you? I'm not selling you anything, actually. This is all for free. But here is entertainment. I'm not here to spread my religious beliefs, if I have any. I'm not here to, I have a certain ideas, I have certain policies, I have certain ways of living, and I will express those views. But I'm not going to sell a cheeseburger. I'm not going to sell you a vacuum cleaner. And at the same time say, well, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, what does that have to do with vacuum cleaners? What does that have to do with a cheeseburger? What does that have to do with a Big Mac? I don't know. You see, that's the point I'm trying to make. This guy selling Big Macs, and instead of having pictures of Ronald McDonald or the Big Mac or Mac Tonight or the McRib sandwich, what does he have up there? The Pope? Like if the Pope actually makes Big Macs, what the fuck's the matter with you, you fucking lunatic? And then he goes out in this news media and tells people, oh, how good he is because he's giving out expired canned food and frozen turkeys. The fuck's the matter with you? Oh, he's running a soup kitchen. Yeah, why don't you tell people, these poor immigrants who you are duping, why don't you tell them exactly what your church is doing to them? The Great Betrayal of 2012. Nobody wants to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. Why don't you tell your immigrant community? Because you're whiter as white can be. And that's fine. I'm not a racist. You want to be in one with the Latino community. Con los latinos ese. Want to be with la raza? ¿Quieres estar unido? Well, fuck you because I know who you are. Here's a guy selling you religion. He's not selling you burgers. Because the first thing that, you go to this restaurant, the first thing is you see, it's not a picture of a Big Mac or a big breakfast or a McRib sandwich. No, what did you see there is the picture of the fucking Pope. Because I ran businesses before, and I ran a restaurant before, and I know that that first impressions are everything. The first thing that the customer should see is the heart and the soul of the restaurant. A picture of the heart and soul. So that means that the heart and soul of that restaurant is the Pope. The Pope who has, who has hidden pedophiles and let pedophiles rape little kids like there's no tomorrow. And then the Great Betrayal. Why doesn't my la raza mía, my race, why don't they know exactly what this church is about? Not just the pedophilia. Fuck that. Because people, my race is so stupid because if they're willing to forgive this shit, if they say, well, there are a few bad apples. No, the whole thing is rotten. If you have bad apples, get rid of them, but you won't. And then I don't know. I mean, what would my race excuse from this church? What would they let this Pope and church get away with now? Would they allow the Catholic Church to get away with bloody murder? Would they let this Catholic Church get away with this greatest treasonous act of 2012? What is that, Jose? Well, it's simple. The Catholic Church supports the Republican Party. The Catholic Church supports Joe Arpaio, the sheriff of Maricopa County. The supposed number one enemy of the Mexican community, the immigrant community, the enemy of immigrant rights, the racist, the big, fat, white racist that we are all led to believe. And he got money from the Vatican. How about that? And yet these sheeple continue to go to that church and pray and to venerate this gargoyle, because he's giving them expired canned food. Don't tell me it's not expired, because I will go there and check. I will go there right now and I'll check those dates. Well, probably he's already thrown away those cans. It's too late. Let me tell you why I believe they're expired. One time I volunteered to feed this community center that was run by these Catholic volunteers from Catholic Charities and this other organization. They're all Mexicans. And the leader of that group was a white Catholic who spoke perfect English. Again, I mean, perfect Spanish. Deja vu all over again. And guess what I saw when I was there volunteering? 80% of those canned foods that we were serving, that we were opening up and serving to the people, were expired. By about a month to about a year, some of them. And I told the guy, I said, hey, you can't serve this shit. And he says, well, this is what God gave us. I'm like, what the fuck? God doesn't want you to get a call light, does he? The fuck kind of mentality is this? You know what it is? It's fucking stupidity of the 10th degree. And let me just say this. I want to end this because I'm going to go to sleep. But I'm really, really disappointed with Mexicans and the Latino community. I really am. The fact that you suck this guy's balls. Never mind this guy who owns this stupid this Catholic McDonald's. I don't care. But for you to go to church, to kiss the ass of the bishops and the archbishops, who were not that long ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, check it out. Do your research, do your homework, read the fucking papers. They're coming out in droves and say, support the Catholic Church, the Republican Party. Donating money. The National Organization for Marriage, a Catholic-run institution supported by the Mormons as well, coming out and giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Republican Party in the name of banning gay marriage. What the hell's the matter with you? Republican Party, a party that is infiltrated by racists, by Birchers, the John Birch Society. You know who they are? Go look them up. The xenophobes who don't want any more immigrants. None whatsoever. No more illegals. And there you are, you immigrant activist, with your sign and yelling and screaming with your megaphone and going up to Joe Arpaio's office and saying, he's a racist and he's a Republican and we have to stop this racism and all that, stop the Republican Party. And I agree with some of the things you say, but sometimes you are a little bit off. But then you go out there, and then you say, oh my God, I forgot the guy's name. The guy from McDonald's, he's giving out free dinner. Everybody goes there. All these immigrant activists and immigrants themselves, they go there, eat his expired canned food, making himself look good in the media, and the cameras focusing on his fat face, and then they go to to inside the restaurant and take pictures of the fucking photos of the Pope. The same Pope that told the U.S. bishops, the U.S. Conference of Bishops, to donate money to the same Republican Party that supports Joe Arpaio and the anti-immigrant policy. Don't tell me that you don't know. Don't tell me that you can't do anything about it. Don't tell me that you cannot see this, because if you can't see this, you shouldn't be out there yelling and screaming through a megaphone, being all annoying and saying that Joe Arpaio is a racist, that the Republican Party is the devil, when in fact your own church that you go to every Sunday and you give money to every Sunday, you go there and you worship to the Pope, the same Pope that is supporting the same party that you hate, the same party that wants to deport you, deport your family, deport your kids. And so what they do is they send people like this stupid McDonald's owner to go and control the masses and say, look, I'm Catholic, I'm good. It's all good. Nothing to see here, folks. Moving on. Here's a free meal. It might be a little expired, but who cares? You're Mexicans. Who the fuck? Why the fuck would you care, you dirty Mexicans? That is the ultimate racism. You see, I have witnessed real, ultimate, extreme racism. I have. As I have witnessed and experienced extreme homophobia. But the extreme racism, that's the one nobody's talking about. The one that is engaged by the people that wear the cloth, who talk for God, the ones who are working behind the scenes of the two major parties. Let's not forget that the real racists are going to try to divert you, dilute your mind, blind you, and make you a subversive slave to their cause. Those are the real racists. And for Mexicans to try to understand Thanksgiving, well, that's all you need to understand. I mean, you can go out there and yell and scream through megaphones and signs and protests and marches against Joe Arpaio and the governor of Arizona, that stupid cunt. I don't care. You can do all you want, but you're not going to get rid of it until you understand the workings of the machine that you're working against. And I'm here to warn you. That's what I'm doing. So, to all of my paisanos, to all la raza, I bid you good night and a very happy Thanksgiving.